Hey there and welcome to the cutest video hop ever. I'm very excited to be joining my friend Emily Leapart for this fun video hop celebrating 5,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel. So Emily invited 9 video artists to create a craft video with their kids or have their kids have the spotlight, as well as 2 young crafters, including me, who've grown up on YouTube. So we hope you have a lot of fun watching these videos and we're all looking forward to be sharing these projects with you, so let's get started with my card. So today I'll be stamping a fun macaron stamp set with the brand new, or well, fairly new stamp set from the Tom called Macarons. This stamp set was part of their anniversary release back in January. So I'm going to be stamping a fun background with these stamps, and it will be kind of time consuming, but it's very fun because it's a lot of stamping and stamping is fun, and the result will be definitely worth it since it's super cute. So first I'll be stamping the solid layer of the macaron with my lightest color of ink. I'm using Vanilla Frosted Cupcake, and I'm just going to stamp that right away with my mini misty tool. So I'll be repeating this step over and over again. I'll also be stamping a pink macaron, and I'm going to be inking that one up in my favorite ink pad color ever, which is Rose Quartz from the Ton. So I'm just inking it up and then using my misty tool to stamp it. And then, like I mentioned before, I'll be repeating that step over and over again to really cover this entire piece of white cardstock with macarons. So if you don't have the mini misty tool, then don't worry, you could just use a regular stamping block like an acrylic block, or you could use the Fiskars stamp press. So I'm showing you again how I stamped this background, and then it's time for the second layer of this macaron since this is a layering stamp set. So for the second color, for the second layer I am using my medium toned ink pad. So for the yellow, I am using Beach Blondie, and this is just the perfect in-between color between the lightest yellow that I'll be using and the darkest yellow. These ink pads are available in a bundle, but you can also get them separate. So I link to all of the inks I used in my video description below or in the supply list at my blog post. And for the pink, I am using Soft Garnet for my second layer. And this is also just a really gorgeous color. I think that this yellow and that pink just looks so cute together. Then finally, I'll be stamping the third and final layer of these macarons. So for the yellow, I am using Amber Citrine, and this is my darkest color. So I'm just going to repeat this step over and over again until I completely finished all of my little macarons. So for the pink, I am using Red Sangria, which is the darkest color of the pink. Now, if you don't have that much or that many ink pads, then you could just use one ink pad, but then you would have to stamp multiple layers in order to see the difference between the colors. So just try that out and see if it works. So we still need to stamp the filling of this macaron, and you still need to cut these 3 little pieces apart. So I'm just using my scissors to do that. It's very easy. Don't worry about cutting your stamp apart since you're meant to cut this apart in order to use it. I'm using the Cocoa ink pad bundle from the Ton to stamp the filling of these macarons since I wanted to stamp a chocolate filling. So here you can see that I'm using an acrylic block to stamp the filling. I just thought that this was a little bit faster than doing it with the Misty tool, since this is also just a really easy stamp to line up. Of course, you could use a Misty stamp if you're worried about not stamping it perfectly, but this time a acrylic block just worked fine for me. So again, I am using 3 different colors in order to get a nice gradient. And then finally, I'll be stamping and coloring a cute little dog from the Dog Life stamp set from the Ton. I just adore this little dog image, and I've been wanting to color it for a very long time, so I'm really happy that I finally got to use it. I stamped the dog with the Caviar ink from the Ton, which is a hybrid ink, so you can use that to color your images. I am going to be copy coloring my little doggy, and I am using the feathering technique, as you can see. So I'm using the E57 color first to add some dark shading. Then I'm going in with the E55, which is my medium color, and I'm always using those flicking motions with the brush. So this is called the feathering technique. I am far from a good Copic coloring person. I mean, I still have a lot to learn, but I just enjoy coloring these images, and I think that it's nice to share just some tips and tricks that I learned from here and there. So again, this feathering technique is really nice if you want to color fur of dogs, or if you want to color hair from people images. So I just wanted to mention that I used E42 as my lightest color over there to blend everything together, and then I just went back in with the E57 to add some more shading here and there. Now you can repeat this step as many times as you want. I repeated that step for about 4 times, I think, because I just wasn't really satisfied with the coloring. So just use your 3 colors, use the feathering technique, practice a lot, and then you'll have a really nice colored image. So I fuzzy cut that little dog with my EK Success Color Bee scissors, and then I decided to add a pop of color to this dog with some flowers. So this little flower headband is from the Love and the Dog stamp set from the ton, and I colored the leaves with YG 17 and YG23, and then for the flowers I used Y18 and Y000, and then for the pink flowers I'm using RV14 and RV13. Then for the sentiment, I'll be stamping a label from the basic label stamp set from the ton, and I inked that up with soft garnet ink. So I am stamping this one with my Misty tool, since sometimes it's kind of hard to get like a really solid stamped image when using these kind of stamps. But when you use a Misty, it's really easy, and you also don't have to worry about repositioning your stamp, since it will be stuck there already. So I want to kind of soften out this background, so I'm just going to adhere a vellum overlay to make sure that my cards won't end up looking too busy, since I also want to adhere my little dog. So I'm also adhering a white circle. I just die cut that out of some regular cardstock. And then I can also start adhering the rest of the pieces on this project. So I'm adhering my little dog with some foam adhesive, and then I'm going to adhere the banner or the label with my Scotch ATG. And then for the little flower headband, I'm using Tamba Mona multi glue, and then I just like to use my EK Success tweezers to make sure that I line up that up perfectly. So we're almost done with this card, but not quite yet. So I still have to adhere this piece onto a note card, and I adhere that onto that card with some foam adhesive. And then finally, I'm adhering a couple of sequins here and there. This time I am using multi-medium matte, since I decided to switch it up this time. Normally I use glossy accents, but this time I just squeezed some glue on a piece of white cardstock, and then I pick my little sequin up with my tweezers, dab it into the glue, and then just kind of tap off all of the excess. And then finally I am adding a little bit of dimension to the flower headband with glossy accents. So that's it for my card for the cutest video hop ever, I mean, by Emily Lee Parts. Be sure to check out my blog for more information, and check the video description for a link to the next video. Happy hopping, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye!